here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
Fourth and goal to go with the 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
All right, now the Giants, okay, according to this article anyway, they have three underrated players or three hidden gems on their roster. Now they kind of go, it's not all not all on offense, not guys on defense. They kind of, these three guys kind of spread out. But, I kind of, I don't know. They got hidden gems, I don't know. I kind of disagree a little bit with some of this here, but we'll have to wait and see how things pan out. Now, let's see here. All right. So, where are we at here? There's a lot of ways you could have gone on this one here, right? Giants. New York Giants hidden gems, 3 secret superstars on the 2025 roster. It's not just that the 2024 Giants finished with a 3-14 record and were a team that was singularly unimpressive in just about every category that doesn't have something to do with the Dexter Lawrence. Now, these Giants have been pretty bad for a while now, with all different types of leadership up top. Since 2017, Big Blue has had the NFL's worst record. 40 wins, 91 losses. Wow. And if you take that 1 year out, the 2022, right, we would be at 31-84. Take that 1 year out. Since 2017, you take the 2022 season, and we're 31-84. Wow. You have to go back to the misbegotten Giants of the 70s when the team was shuffling from coach to coach and personnel guy to personnel guy in whipsaw fashion to find such a record of consistent disappointment. By the end of the 2024 season, team president, CEO, and co-owner John Mara had endured more than enough. We stunk this year, Mara said in January. It's my instinct and my strong belief that we are going to go in the right direction. It's hard for me to say that we're going in the right direction right now because we've been going backwards. Okay, but the three of the gems that they got here on this list here: underrated veteran, an underrated veteran. I'd say this is a veteran. Tyrone Tracy Jr. He's played 1 year, so I guess he's a veteran now. So, when it comes to secret superstars for the Giants who were on the roster last season, well, you have to look around a bit. One guy who caught my eye before Big Blue selected him in the 5th round of the 2024 draft was Purdue running back Tyrone Tracy. And if it wasn't because of what he did for the Boilermakers per se, though that was pretty nice. No, before he transferred to Purdue in 2022, Tracy was a receiver for the Iowa Hawkeyes, and he was responsible for explosive passing plays in the Kirk Ferentz's offense. If you watched Iowa's offense over the last decade, first, my condolences. Second, you know how rare explosive passing plays are. You got that right. Tracy's catches weren't of the swing and screen variety either. In 2019, 74% of his snaps came as an outside receiver. Tracy did his level best to bolster the Giants' run game while everyone was suffering through the inevitable post-Saquon, part right there. Gaining 839 yards and scoring 5 touchdowns on 192 carries, he forced 34 missed tackles and had 10 runs at 15 yards or more. All of that with the revolving offensive line. Because when he came in, and he started becoming a starter for the Giants was after their 5 or 6 games in the beginning of the season when they had the same guys in there week in and week out. Their best offensive line That's when Thomas got hurt and the wheel fell off, and it was all downhill after that. Right? That's when Tyrone came in there. And after that, that's when he became pretty much primarily the starter. He got 839 yards with the offense, offensive line. Every week was a different configuration, right? And he added value as a receiver. Why not? With 284 yards and a touchdown on 38 catches. Last season, the Giants had a total of 14 explosive run plays. So if it wasn't with Tracy with the ball, it basically wasn't going to happen. So he had 10 of their 14 explosive run plays of 15 yards or more. At 6'1", 210 pounds, Tracy combines lateral agility and second-level speed with the power required to bowl through enemy defenders. He's also conversant with the idea of making big gains behind just about every blocking scheme, and doing so behind offensive lines that can't be problematic. I wouldn't say it's any different than last year, really. Tracy said in June of the value of experience in the NFL. The only difference is I've been here before. I know what's going to happen. I know training camp is coming up. I know I've got to prepare my body, prepare my mind, prepare my soul for what's going to happen during the season. But I'm still grinding, man. I'm still grinding. There's really no safe space in the NFL, in this league. Everyone's trying to take your spot. I'm grinding every day to make sure that the coaches can trust me and my teammates can trust me. Well, I mean, the one thing is that right? That man's going to want to get on the field. He ain't going to be happy sitting on the sideline. So we got. I don't want to say certainly don't want to say we got the best two-headed monster in the league or nothing like that, but. Cam Scatterboo's going to want to get some snaps out there. He wants some contact. So Tracy better do what he can do all he can do, be all he can be, and everything like that. And hope that's enough because Cam's coming for him, right? But I tell you what, it'd be a nice, if they take Tracy off, right, then you have Cam in there, right, a little different runner, right. So, and the nice thing is when you got Cam coming in, right? If the Giants actually get a drive going, imagine that. It's a drive. Oh, right. The defense starting to get a little tired, a little hands on the hips, maybe with 5, 6, 7 play drive or whatever it is. Tracy comes out, comes in the field or something. Defense a little tired and stuff like that, right? Hand Cam the ball, right? He's much smaller, can get low to the ground, right? Good center balance, gravity, and all that. Keeps balance and everything. That'd be a nice change of pace. And let's not forget, Cam can catch the ball too. All right, then they said with these hidden gems, then they went to a gem of an underrated free agent signing, and this one I agree with here. All right. Because, when you go to free agent signings, you think about, obviously, Debo, you think about Holland. Those are a couple of the big ones for the Giants. I mean, obviously, Wilson, Winston, all that. Yeah. But we're talking about Chauncey Golston here. Now, this one I like. I like their choice here. This is the good one. Because this guy, in not a ton of snaps last year, was very busy. He got himself quite a few sacks last year. So, when we have to wind up putting him on the field, but he's coming off the sideline and he's fresh, right? He's going to give you some production. So this is a good pick here. I like this. Giants did add 2 highly valuable free agents to their secondary, right? With a Debo and Holland, but neither of those guys are secret superstars. And I'm assuming that fans of the team already know how much they can improve a pass defense that ranked 30th in DVOA last season. I love all these stats. Yeah, they were 31st in PQRYASPY percentage last year. Okay, great. Yeah, that tells me a lot. Anyway, goodness knows the team has allocated more than enough resources to the edge pressure group. But as much as we'll be talking about Burns, Kayvon, and Abdul Carter guys as the preseason progresses and when the regular season comes along, the addition of former Dallas Cowboys pass disruptor Chauncey Golston could add a little spice and a lot of glue to a defensive line rotation that already overstuffed from a so it's already overstuffed from a talent. So don't underestimate Mr. Golston. Underestimate Mr. Golston. Got him for, I think, 3 years, $19 million, something like so, like $6.5 million a season. Don't know, 3 years we got him for too, so that's good. In 2024, 6'5", 268-pound Golston. Now he can be on the edge, or I can also slide him inside, but he's going to be a little light on the inside. But he's got some height, he's got some length to him. Golston enjoyed career highs in sacks with 7. I thought it was 6.5, but I hear they got 7 as article. Total pressures 37, tackles 36, and stops with 30. And given his ability to get it done from multiple gaps, he lined up as a defensive tackle on 26% of his snaps last season. That's where the glue comes in. When you have a combination of specialized tone setters and versatile rotational players, that's when your crew becomes especially difficult to deal with, because he's coming in, you don't know where he's going to go. You got Carter, you don't know where he's going to go. Right? Golston has a full array of moves to deal with enemy blockers as well, which could make the 3-year, $18 million contract. He signed with $12 million guaranteed. So I mean, this could be a real good pickup for the Giants. 3 years, right? So $12 million guaranteed, quite a bargain in the end. On the outside, he can skirt the edge, swipe hands away, and bring the bullish rush. Inside, he can double up on the power and shoot multiple lanes to create enemy losses. It's a mindset, Golston said in March, on his ability to displace guys outweigh him by 50 to 60 pounds. You get a chance to go on and move a man against his own will. You've got to do that. That's a mental thing. Also, you can't go to jail for it out there. That's a nice plus. You can get, there's things you can do out on the field that if you did it out and live, you might go to jail. So, as to his versatility, Golston had already looked as how he best fits in the potentially dominant line. He says, with Burns is a speed guy, Golston said of the different characteristics. And this was a month and a half before Carter was drafted. I'm more of the bigger end guy and finesse power. Those usually go hand in hand. With that, I'm just doing my part. I'm just here to help in my part of the role. And with time together, like with the OTAs and training camp, I will see exactly how that works. That question will be answered in time. I tend to lean toward the underrated multi-gap lineman in my own evaluations because from Michael Bennett to Danico Autry, I've seen what they can do for our defense. Golston could well be that guy for the 2025 Giants. Then they have the underrated draft pick. Now, this one's not bad. Not bad. Okay, all right. They got Darius Alexander. And I hope they're right. And he said, and speaking of that defensive line, before the dislocated elbow that cost him the last 5 games of the 2024 season, Dexter Lawrence was demolishing enemy offenses at a clip that had him in firm contention for the Defensive Player of the Year award. And from his positions on the field, very few were in the same universe. On snaps from 0 to 3 technique tackle, where Lawrence spent 97% of his snaps last season, he totaled 8 sacks and 34 pressures, despite the constant double teams that opened things up for everybody else around him, which is true. The pass rush obviously fell off when Lawrence wasn't on the field. New York's sack rate plummeted from 9.1% to 6.1%. And it was clear that the reinforcements among the interior defensive linemen in the room were needed. Thus, the selection of Toledo's Darius Alexander with the first pick in the 3rd round. With Toledo Rockets last season, Alexander totaled 4 sacks, 37 total pressures, 27 solo tackles, and 27 stops. This after putting up 7 sacks, 46 pressures, 19 solo tackles, and 23 stops for Rockets in 2023. During Senior Bowl week, no opposing blocker had answers to deal with Alexander consistently. Not even North Dakota State's Gray Zabel. I've heard they were raving about him there, who portrayed his own positive Senior Bowl performance into a first-round selection with the Seattle Seahawks. Alexander was throwing dudes around left and right. Oh man, I love it. They have a yeah, wow. They got a couple of videos. Jesus Christ. Wow. Yeah, got some. Yeah, I tell you what, he's got some length to him, boy, I'll tell you what. This wasn't a case of an average player making the most of 1 week either. Alexander's 2024 tape displayed everything you need to know about his potential. Tyrone Alexander, a 3 technique that we did a lot of work on, Shane said after the pick was made. He came in on a 30 visit as well, was down at the Senior Bowl, and just where we are, we felt we needed to add some youth to the defensive line, and this kid is just under 6'4", 315 pounds. 34-inch arms, nice size arms, and freaky athletic. Down at the Senior Bowl, he had a really good week. Defensive line coach Trey Patterson thinks the world of him, as does assistant defensive line coach Brian Cox. Getting a guy like this that can come in and develop with the depth that we have, again, a high ceiling for this player. So we're excited to add another player to our front seven. With all these moves made, Shane couldn't help but be a little giddy about those defensive fronts. So yeah, there's a lot of depth there. I'm excited about that, the group. Again, we've got to do a better job stopping the run this year. Yes, they do. You can bring in as many guys as you want. You can't stop the run. And I think we've helped that with some of the depth. If we can get to third down, we've got a lot of options in terms of where guys can line up in terms of versatility. Chauncey has got some versatility. Darius has got some versatility. Obviously, with Carter, there's some versatile pieces in there that can move around, and that can be difficult for offenses. Absolutely. So, one thing I do like, right? And I got some guys that got some versatility in it. That's going to be one of the things. It's going to be a couple things, right? Getting to third down, okay, and where they can maybe hopefully kind of tee off right on the quarterback, right? But once you get to third down, you got to get off the field. Got to get off the field. But only time will tell. We should have a good pass rush. Let's hope we can do better at stopping the run, right? But once again, only time will tell.